We're back!
We're back!
Lives have been lived, photos have been taken, songs have been sung and written. We're finally moved into our real set now.
Yes.
A lot has changed. We'll discuss all in a few seconds, but hi and welcome to the Music Lens podcast. My name is Alex Allegra.
And Katie.
That's not how we normally intro it. I'm so sorry. We've already had so many technical difficulties. You would think after a year of doing this that we would know exactly how to do this podcast, but apparently
it's fine.
We don't learn.
It is what it is. We're keeping it real with y'all.
But it's cute now, I hope. It's a little more like fluffy and colorful and fun and so this is just a boring thing, but like I really just wanted to share. So I originally thought when we got the new studio that I would have redone everything, like new chairs and all this stuff, and we're gonna add some things here still. But I think we're sticking with the yellow couch.
Okay.
Do you guys like the yellow couch?
Do you like the yellow couch?
I don't know if it looks as cramped as sometimes we feel on the yellow couch.
Yeah.
But I think it kind of works. And it fits the space actually really well. Mm-hmm. And the reason I was going to take out the couch was because originally I had another room that I was going to put it in. Because this is like my yellow couch that I got for Christmas a couple years ago. And it's like I love yellow so much. It's like a staple for me. So that's why it's here. And it just happened to be the podcast space. So, but I think we're going to stick with that.
It's sticking around. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're here. Yeah. We've done so much this summer. Mm-hmm. And real time is that like, I'm not going to talk a lot about why we took the hiatus, but I will say it was more me and some personal things that I went through. So apologies to Katie, apologies to this. But I had to make a lot of big life decisions and really figure out if this fit into those life decisions still and how we were going to move forward with it, because just a lot of things had changed. And I just don't want to put anything like definite out into there because I don't think that it's necessarily like... I'm still open to a lot of different solutions to a lot of my problems. Okay. So I'm just kind of letting things happen the way that they're going to happen. And I think that this podcast still fits into our world. Yeah. And hopefully it gets to some people who need it or just enjoy a fun music podcast. I still would like to at least have the fun elements of this podcast. So
yeah, for sure. And I think like summer is just such a busy time in music, just because that's usually when shows pick up and things like that. And like you were traveling with doing photography and things like that too. So I think it made sense to take a hiatus from that aspect too, of just like, as I think we had in our statement about the hiatus, like we just did not have the time to really dedicate to the podcast to have it be a quality that we wanted it to be, instead of just like throwing episodes out and like rushing the research and stuff to make the episodes.
Because it wasn't gonna, I mean, Katie and I could have just kept going and thrown things at the wall and been like done, but I think I would have had an even bigger mental break than I did. I think you would have seen a lot of that on camera. And it was stuff I didn't need to, I put a lot of myself out there obviously already. But there are some things that, you know, I don't think the world needs to see.
That's fair. Yeah.
And it wouldn't have done anything for our careers. It wouldn't have done anything for the career of this podcast to just throw things at it. And we have a lot of planning in store for the next year of this podcast. So if you want to stick with us and see where it goes, we have a lot of fun stuff planned, and hopefully a much better system, and hopefully a much more collaborative effort. And so we won't give any of that stuff away, but just know that the future of this podcast holds a lot of hope and promise, and we would love if you would stick with us and enjoy along with us. So
I think it is fair to share though, I mean, cut this if you don't want to share it, but like I think the plan that we're going to have, at least for the rest of this year, is to do 2 episodes a month, do like every other week, just to kind of ease back into it because our schedules still are pretty busy. So kind of getting it back into our schedules, getting used to having this be something on our plates again. And then hopefully by New Year, we can start going back to a weekly system. But
yeah. When I was telling my therapist all the stuff that I was doing, and I was like, well, I cut all this stuff out, and she was so proud of me. And now I've added literally everything back in that I have cut. And I'm like, no, but I know how to handle it now. So again, we're trying not to go back to, oh my God, we need a hiatus kind of a thing. Yeah. So to do that, we have set up a lot of guidelines in how we are going to proceed so that neither one of us is completely burnt out, and that this is still something that is enjoyable, because that was the fun of the podcast, was just something that we get to talk. And I think with the evolution of the podcast, it works really well that, you know, we're growing as individuals. We're getting older in the music industry. We're going like just being more seasoned and aged in it and learning a lot more. And that was the whole point, was to share all of the ups and downs with everyone, of like
be more like, I guess, transparent in a way that not everyone sees for like casual music fans. Like, they don't see the behind the scenes a lot of the time.
And a lot of people only see the really big success stories, and we're here to show you what, I mean, we still love it. And we'll, you know, if that happens, we'll have a different change of podcast plan. But for the time being, obviously, we're still just very much centered in Nashville and still really grinding. And, and that looks like a lot of different things. So, we're here to continue sharing our POVs of life in Nashville, in an ever-changing music scene.
Yes.
In a music scene that's, the music industry is always tough, but it's a very different type of tough now. And even the people that are getting success, like, it's like hard for them. And like, normally once you reach a certain point, you don't have to worry as much. Like, you just have to keep.
I feel like you do, though.
Well, you worry to a degree, but like you can have some like breathing room of comfortability to know that like you're getting work and you're doing things, and like you have the like foundation of a career that you want. But like now it's even tougher. I mean, a lot of the people that I've talked to as of recent, like some managers that I've talked to and gotten coffee with and stuff, are just like, it used to just be like you would grow with. We talked about growing with your community, but even when you grow with the same people that like your music resonates with the same group of people that made this person go viral, it's not making the same trajectory for those types of people anymore. Now it's like, oh, you only go up 1% instead of like growing by 10 percentage points to like your next step. Like, so it's just like, it's just a really tough market. And I mean, so many people that I'm like, if it was just based around talent and, you know, having all the things that like marking every box that you should have, so many of my friends would be famous and like have at least publishing deals that they don't have. And so I've talked to people that are like, there's no reason why it's not happening for these people. It just doesn't. And so we're here to, it's not doom and gloom though. Again, if you're new here, it's not a doom and gloom podcast. Well, at least we try to be, but we're real people and we really try to talk like real people talk. So
what you said of like people who have success are like still struggling and stuff, like if you saw Ella Langley's post, she like canceled all her shows for the rest of August just because mental health wise it was like taking a toll of like the constant like go
and she's somebody who is at the top of her game and right now.
I appreciate how forward she is with stuff like that, where like I think it was ACMs that she like had a really big night award wise and stuff, and she said that was like mentally one of her like toughest weeks. And so if she seemed off a little bit or whatever, that's why, because I think people are reading into her performance with Riley, because they were trying to read like,
for the relationship drama of it,
but I think it was more so because of how she was feeling for that week or whatever, so it made more sense when she said that. But I just appreciate her being so open with everybody about that, and also being someone who is prioritizing her mental health and not just like continuing to go like full 100% with all these shows and stuff if it's gonna take a toll where she's just not gonna be able to do it and burn out. So I just think that's cool that she's being open about it, which is what we try to do as well. But it's nice to see someone who's hit like a certain level of success is also sharing stuff like that as well.
Yeah. Which, Alex, to happy times of what have we been up to?
Yeah.
When was the last episode?
So our last episode was the Pride episode, so end of June.
Okay.
So basically, because we're starting up again September, we're recording this early, obviously. I think you know that we gotta record stuff in advance. So it's August, which still, to but us basically like 2 months off.
It's been so long, but honestly, a 2-month break isn't the worst that a podcast could do. So.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, so basically July and most of August is where you have not heard from us and what we've been doing. I know I'm trying to think back too, because I'm like, what have I done? I turned 27, so that's a thing. Stay tuned to hear more about how I feel about that, because I've been in the studio too. So which I'm sure I'll talk about that single more when it gets closer to when it's coming out. But I did go back in the studio this month to record my next single for this fall, and I'll just say it's related to aging and stuff like that. A little bit of studio time. We've been writing still with our different groups of people.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I had the biggest mess up the other day though. Oh, no. I promise.
We almost texted Brayden to be like, is Alex okay?
Okay, for future employers, writer, friends, everybody, I am so responsible. I know how to be a professional about everything. I don't know what happened the other day though. I have been exhausted mentally again, like from a whole different aspect. It's not like a bad thing. It was just like I was just tired and I haven't been sleeping because I'm also an insomniac every once in a while and I just haven't slept. And so I don't know what happened. So many things have gotten moved around in my schedule because of the musical that I'm in right now. And I was like, oh yeah. And I totally forgot that we moved the write from Tuesday to Wednesday.
Okay.
I don't know how. And I came home, instantly fell asleep because I was feeling like garbage. And then was like, why is Katie calling me? Like, that's weird. And then I like didn't do anything with it. And then I didn't even realize you texted me.
Yeah.
And
we moved it. It was Saturday that we texted and was like, would Wednesday work? Just like literally move it a day. And so since it had been like less than a week since we had agreed to move it, I don't think anyone thought to check in ahead of time. Because typically with our writes, I think for pretty much every different group that we write with, we'll like text either day of or day before and be like, is everyone still good? Yes. Just to make sure people remember.
Mental, because I forget to write in writes with certain people so much.
Yeah. So I think everyone thought, okay, like everyone's gonna remember, we're good. And then Sammy recorded harmonies for the song that I'm recording because that was supposed to happen Wednesday anyway. So we're like, I think it works out. Like get there around 6. It ended up being 6:30 because my drive there was a lot. Anyways, but then Alex was supposed to come at 7 for the right portion of it because harmonies don't take that long to record.
Alex just didn't show up.
And then it was like 7:17 and I'm like, hey Alex, are you on your way? No answer. Around 7:30 or so, I think I was like, let me call her. And then she didn't pick up. And then Sammy's like, you have Brayden's number, right? Just in case we need to like make sure she's good. And I was like, I'll just wait till like 8 before doing anything about it. And you texted before then. It was like, I fell asleep.
I felt so bad about it. I was like, No.
Well, you live so close now too. I was like, feel free to still come, but like,
no, I had a migraine and I just wasn't. I woke up and I felt so much worse, and I was like, sorry.
Yeah.
But I promise I don't want to not write with you guys. It was just a very big.
I mean, we did start writing while we were still figuring out if you were coming or not.
So. Well, I saw the song you guys wrote because you still have me on the Google.
Oh yeah, I shared the document at the start. Yeah. Yeah, so
I was like, oh, sorry. I figured you guys had already started
we did
something.
A Taylor thing
so
again.
I know. So I was like, I'll just I'm so sorry, guys.
Yeah.
It wasn't that I didn't want to be there. I messed up so badly. I was like, crap.
Where were we? Yeah, we've been writing a lot. Yeah. I guess that's where that came from. I got to go home, play some shows in South Dakota, which was fun. Got to go see Ian Munsick again it was the same exact crew that came to the Nashville show. So that was kind of fun being with the same people for the same artist. I was gonna so he liked a TikTok that I posted the week before, and he had liked our podcast clip from when we talked about the Nashville show. So I was like, if he likes my story that I post the day of about like playing a show and then going to see him, I'm gonna just like DM him and see what happens to like see if he needs someone to sing Lainey's part in Feather in My Hat. And then he saw the story, but he didn't like react to it or anything. So I was like, I'll just drop it. It's fine. But I did think about that. He also didn't have an opener. I'm like, I should have reached out.
That's odd that he didn't have an opener.
No, it felt so short. Like, and he started at like 8:45 when he's supposed to start at 8 and was done by 10. So it was just a very short show. It was great.
Maybe the opener just didn't show up and like.
No, there's no opener on the lineup or anything. Because I've been the last couple years reaching out to Pepper Entertainment, who's like the promoter that books for the fair, and it's like if you need an opening act and all that. But I really need to get better live footage before I start doing that again, because the problem with having like the live footage that you would want for like a EPK for booking is getting quality audio for that footage, and everything I have, it's really hard to hear my vocals over the band. So I'm just kind of waiting. Eventually I'm gonna try and get like where the audio is recorded and get those stems and sync it with the video and properly mix it and all that stuff, and then start reaching out to people again. So I just decided not to reach out this year, just play the front porch, not even try for the main stage. But he didn't have an opener. He's the only one of the entire week of concerts that didn't have an opener, and I was just like, I wonder if I would have reached out if anything would have happened.
Yeah. So. I know there's some like secret tricks and trades to like getting live concert footage is more like you stage a concert for your EPK. Yeah. And I've had that like thought to do it. Again, it comes down to it gets expensive fast because you need to rent the space that you're doing it in. You need to hire somebody to run the sound and like know how to do it to record it. Yeah. Then you need someone to take all the video for it, and then you need to pay all your band members because they're not gonna just do it for free, unfortunately. A lot. And then sometimes you have to bribe everyone to come because you need to make it look as full as possible, so you get a lot of pizza and or like a ticket kind of thing, you know. So
I will say, I don't know if I talked about the house show back in June that Sammy and I did, but Jack, who plays bass for both of us, he does these house shows in his basement with his roommate, and they're trying to get equipment to record stems and then give them to the bands, and then you could have them mixed and stuff for like an additional fee, but otherwise you can just get the stems for free, which is nice. He just has to get the equipment figured out. So I told him to let me know, and I think that's the plan because that seems like the cheapest option of how to do that. Is I
wonder if Christian could also just like do a live recording type situation. Just maybe do it each individually and just not like as you would play it kind of a thing, you know? For a live performance, but it would be in a studio. But
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know. That's the challenge right now, is just getting quality live footage in order to try and book more shows, because I definitely want to play more.
And it's worth the investment. It really is. You're not going to get very far anywhere without having a quality EPK is what I've learned. Or like quality live performance videos of yourself. And again, it doesn't need to be like all out necessarily, especially when you're just starting out. Like when I was 16, like a video of me singing on like my mom recording me and my guitar at a fair was perfectly fine enough.
Yeah. It's just when you have a full band element is where it gets hard, because obviously like the drums and everything and just having more instruments involved naturally it's loud compared to the vocal, so it's just hard to hear everything. So
yeah, and getting a little bit of your personality at the beginning of some talking and then getting some claps at the end. Those are, it's like the little things that like you wouldn't think to include that like do make a difference.
And I will say there's some places like Carolina Country Fest and like any of the other festivals that same group runs on their website where you can like submit to perform. It says they would prefer the live video to like include crowd interaction and stuff. So getting clips of that as well is something that would benefit, because then they can see that you are interacting and not just like singing a song.
Yeah, so things like Summerfest in Milwaukee as well. You can go through, I'm not going to remember it, but on their website, when you go to submit, you have to go through a certain website to do it, which is why I did it in the first place. But that's also like another music platform. You upload your songs and you make a whole EPK basically on it as well. And that one you do have to pay for a membership.
Yeah.
But it's kind of worth it, and it's not bad. I use it a lot. So if you use it, it's worth it. But
isn't it like a monthly one?
Yeah,
though?
But it's like $10 a month. It's not like bad.
I thought it was more. I don't know. Yeah, but yeah, I just feel like right now I'd love to be booking at least like fairs and festivals, because I think at the like level that we're at, it's hard to get like good full band shows that are gonna like pay enough to pay the band and things like that. So fairs and festivals, at least you're getting more exposure to people, and you don't have to worry about like getting a certain number of people to come to the shows.
Right.
But again, it's just getting that EPK figured out so that way I can book those stuff. But I don't know, just being at the fair, seeing Ian play and stuff, I'm like, I want to do that. So yeah, I think that's basically all the stuff that I've been up to in the last couple months. I know you've been traveling a lot doing your photography.
So I don't know if I've talked about my photography on here really a whole lot. I mean, I know it's been brought up like because vaguely, when we do like our creative days and those kinds of things. So I got my certificate in photography because I learned better in like a classroom setting. So I went through an online course in like with Cornell and did a whole program on what the hell is a camera, how do you work it, how do you do everything, how do you learn to light, how do you do all this stuff, which does not include this because I know the lighting is sometimes shit on these podcasts and I apologize.
Yeah, we have to get that set up still. We're in,
again, it's a work
a
in
lot
progress.
Of stuff has been fixed or like actually put in order.
Yeah.
Compared to June when we didn't have legs on the couch yet.
So,
still more to do.
Yeah, but it's coming together actually now. So, again, by the end of this year, I swear it'll look like a legit podcast. So stay with us, people, please. Good. Stay with us. But if you've also been watching for this long, you know, it's fine.
It's fine.
So I've been doing that, and honestly, I've fallen in love with doing photography, and my work has really allowed me to develop a lot and learn a lot of mistakes the hard way, but doing it and learning from the ground up, everything from social media to photography. And it was always something that was like there, like back in middle school, we had to take a photography class, and my teacher was always like, you have such a good eye. Why don't you like do something with this? And I was like, it's middle school. I'm like, I do other things. I'm fine. Thank you. I had kind of a natural inkling with it and it worked that I got to start experimenting with it and was like, wow, I really like doing this. And wow, I'm actually pretty naturally good at it. And then I started to learn how to actually do things and speak the lingo. And then it developed into me actually kind of wanting to pursue a career in it. So part of me taking a little bit of a step back from music has been to do that. And I think it's opened up a lot of doors in areas, but obviously there's still so much to do. And it's so hard to, my struggle with it, and it's a good struggle to have, is that I didn't have to like do it as like a hobby, go through the weddings, go through corporate kind of events to like get started. I already had a job where I got the access to photo pits and stuff. So I'm already at like a level, but then I'm competing with people that have been doing it for 20 plus years. And so I know that I can, I've learned so much and so fast, and I know I'm good at it. So I'm like, now I like don't want to take as many like volunteer opportunities and stuff because I'm like, I know I can hit the level that these festivals are looking for, but they've already had teams for 10 plus years. And so now I'm fighting with all these people. Yeah, good problem to have. But, I think, like I said, I'm open to some more opportunities. See where we takes us next year. I could have a completely different job next year. Like not completely
still music
different,
industry,
but different enough. And so who knows? And maybe it'll involve more traveling, and I'm not sure yet. And I shouldn't be saying this because I have no clue if that's even going to happen. But I wanted just to discuss some photo pit etiquette that I've seen. Again, this is starting out as somebody who has literally never stepped into a photo pit, never done anything really besides owned a camera and walked around Nashville and did some fun photo shoots. And then I walked in to the first concert I went to that I photographed was, I don't remember.
I don't know.
Let me look. I think, no, it was one of your guys' shows, and they were awful pictures. But the first photo pit I stepped into.
Was it the Cobra?
No.
Oh.
I did something else before that. You guys were playing at what was the bar on the Bunbury, and it's not there anymore. It's where Live Oak is now.
Doghouse.
Yes.
Okay.
That was the first time I ever took photos for anyone.
Okay.
They weren't good photos, and I'm so sorry about that.
I don't even remember getting photos for that, to be honest.
That's how long ago it was.
I know you had your phone propped up for video, but I don't remember pictures.
Yeah. Oh, it was Young the Giant was the first one I went for. And so I'm like very just, okay, I just go down and take photos. Like, and I've learned that there are so many different variants of photo pit access and what passes go for what. And my favorite pass to have is an all access pass because no one talks to you and no one yells at you. You just get to do whatever the fuck you want to do. So if you can gain an all access pass, now all access passes are the hardest pass to get.
Yeah.
So don't expect to, but when you can, you use it to your advantage all the way. And then normally you'll get a media pass. And for most people, again, since I don't have to do this, I didn't know about it until I ran into issues with it. Or when I was trying to do things outside of my work for like my own, like, oh, I really want to go to this festival. Okay, how do I do this? Most times you go through as a media press person, and that's tough for me too because I don't normally go with a publication. Again, I've done it kind of on my own with my company for social media purposes, for the venues, for things like that I've never really tried it. I don't know exactly how it goes, but I'm in a lot of groups that like, hey, if any publication's looking for this concert, I'd love to photograph for them, and you make connections that way. You can also like pitch to some more indie starting out magazines as like, hey, this concert's happening, like here's my portfolio, this is what I'm gonna do you have like a writer that can come with me, like that kind of stuff, and you do it that way. But I just kind of hop on in and do my thing for social media, and then I get out. And normally it's a 3 in the front rule. So you do the first 3 songs, a standard, because again, I've gone through a lot. A standard photo pit is the first 3 songs, and then you go. There's so many stipulations in like, oh, don't do this and don't do that. And I'm just like, I'm here to make you look good. And so it always baffles me when there's so many artists like, you can't do X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
But I guess I also kind of get it because, again, I'm on the artist side of it. But also I'm like, why don't you want the press? Why don't you want the photos taken? Like, I personally don't get it. I don't think any of us are trying to get the worst photo of you. Like, we're not all TMZ, like, trying to get the ugliest photo that we can all view on stage. I like it when, if you have stipulations of what you're looking for, if you could at least, like, send to the artist manager for approval, and then you get, like, the photos back that you can use. I like that, because I'm like, okay, you have your rules of what we can't do, but at least you're like, okay, here are the ones that are approved. And I get a lot of mine approved, so I'm not normally mad about it. But I told Katie when this happened, I was out at Country Thunder this year, the music festivals.
The Wisconsin
Yeah,
one.
up in Wisconsin. And
there's multiple.
Yeah. There was one photographer that was so angry the whole time. And I was like, dude, like, you're going to get yourself kicked out. Like, why are you trying to fight everyone, first of all? But second of all, this is what made me want to bring up this topic of, like, photo etiquette. And I don't know if it's because there's a lot of people like me who don't know, like, the photo pit rules, who aren't the media people that are, like, trying to get all these things. And I know a lot of the artists, like, it's a trend on TikTok, and it's like, the artist said get the photo no matter what the cost kind of things. And, like, it seems cool and, like, fun, and then, like, you get all these cool photos. But let me just say, maybe you don't know, there are so many people that are fighting in a photo pit for the best photo. And sometimes it is just, like, that's what it is, and you just gotta fight, and you can't let it get to you. And I had to learn to get real tough skin real fast being in a photo pit, because, like, most of the time it's just like, you can't take it personally when someone's yelling at you, when security says no, you can't do that. And it took me a while, because I was just like, what was always frustrating for me was I was told by so many different people different things, and then I'd get to the front of the pit and they'd be like, oh, you know, you're supposed to be escorted down with guest services. And then the next show I'd go to, I'd ask guest services, hey, are there any rules I need to know about? And they're like, what do you mean? We never have rules. And I'm like, well, the last time I was here, I was told I need to walk down with you. And so again, because I have just a different thing, and so I never know what, like, the protocol of it is, and it changes every show. One time I was like, okay, first 3, no problem. Get down to the photo pit. No, it's only the first 2. Oh no, it's only the second and the third. Like, it changes every artist at the same venue. It does not matter. Like, it's always, and then they don't tell you when you go to pick up your passes. They're not like, oh, and here are the rules for media tonight. They're just like, have a good show. And then you're like, okay, it must just be and then you can go to guest services and they don't know, and then you try to find the media boxes. It's a mess. I wish, like, when they gave you the pass, they were like, here are the rules for the night. Like, have fun, but, like, I just want it to be, like, centralized, so I'm not, like, because again, like, I could, and then, like, sometimes they'll, depending on the security guard, sometimes they're like, oh, okay, you can do whatever. And then some then I get different things from different security guards. And then sometimes no one has a problem in, like, the venue, but then, like, an artist security will come out and be like, nope, you have to be back. And then it's just like, what? Like, it's always so different. So that's why it's, like, really rolling with, like, okay, it's not personal, really rolling with just whatever punches you're given that night, and just rolling with it is just say you're sorry, don't do it again, and move on, and just try to find something else. A lot of times you can also, like I said, go up if, like, especially for me, because I'm trying to get, like, full angle shots of, like, stages or lighting. A lot of time I'll like to climb up into different sections, and no one ever has a problem with that. So long rant. But to say, if you are the artist social media team, please just have some consideration for the fact that the first 3, especially if you know that it's the first 3, those people are only getting those photos a lot of times. Like, they don't get the option to go out into the crowd and do all that stuff. Again, like, I've been given a lot of very nice privileges that I don't take for granted. But a lot of media people especially have signed so many waivers, are trying to get the best shot with like the first 3 songs and that's it, or the first 2 songs or something in the smallest little area that they were given, and that's it. And lately, again, I don't know if it's because of social media or what, you always get pictures of like the person on stage. Or when I was at Country Thunder, literally for Hardy's set, we had to be at the back. We couldn't be down the aisle at all. There was this huge runway that went from all the way to basically front of house.
Yeah.
We had this little area, probably about the size of this room, which it's not that much bigger than this couch.
I would say maybe imagine like 2 or a little more than 2 of these couches is the width of this room.
Then there was about 10 of us, plus they had mics on the side and stuff. So like we had to, then there was the 2 tallest people on earth in front of us trying to get video. And I'm the shortest person ever in any photo pit. And all of them had like these giant lenses, and I work with like my one lens, which works perfectly fine, but like again, for what I'm doing, it's fine. But we were all, it's probably not even this big, it's probably about the size, like we were crammed together. There was no room. We were all fighting for a spot, all had lenses like on the thing, because also the stage comes about up to my eye level.
Right.
So even for the tall guys, like they're just getting their head over it. But like I can barely see over the damn thing, and I'm like, hello. Or they had like step stools so they could like look up. But again, we're all fighting for a spot. And this guy, Hardy's social media guy, literally jumps up into the middle of the catwalk, walks down right in front of Hardy. So the last song, none of us got a shot, because he was just right in the middle. And it pissed almost everyone off in this thing. So that's why I'm saying, maybe you'd never been in a photo pit. Maybe you got the job as social media person and you were told to, but could you please be a little courteous to the fact that we don't want you in the middle of our shot?
Yeah.
You have the entire...
What song was it, though?
What
song was it, though?
I don't remember.
Okay. Because I'm just thinking in social media, if it's like a song he's currently trying to promote, it's probably like, oh, we need to get this.
I understand that, but I'm just saying there's other opportunities, and you have the entire rest of the concert, and also the third song's probably not the one that he's promoting.
I don't know.
Also, you have the entire concert to stand in any part of the stage that you want.
Yeah.
Like, just please be courteous of the fact that, like, some of us don't get a lot of options to get a photo, and if you ruin an entire song because you're standing there when you could be down in the pit with all of us too, like...
Yeah. Okay.
Or fly a drone, because you can also fly drones and stuff to get the shots. Like, again, he didn't have to just be right in the middle. Like...
Okay.
Just be nice. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Other than that, I really love being in the photography pit, honestly. Like... Be fun, be collaborative. It's I always try to like be nice to, well, obviously be nice to everyone in the photo pit, and a lot of like, first, I follow a lot of photographers that are like, here's some things I wish I knew when I first started out and all this stuff, and sometimes those are really helpful tips, but a lot of the tips are normally like, be extra prepared, bring as much like as gear that you're gonna need, bring extra batteries and all that stuff, make sure everything's charged. Don't do what I did and format your camera because you needed space and realize that you formatted the wrong SIM card and now you've lost all the pictures that you had from the day. That happened once. I was so upset about it. I only lost one folder that I needed. Apparently I had backed up. Make sure to back everything up. Like, don't format your SIM cards until everything is backed up.
Yeah.
And don't be afraid to like make relationships with other photographers and like use each other's skills and stuff. I've seen a lot of things happen in photo pits, and I've seen people's cameras literally break in the middle of a set and somebody's like, hey, I'm not shooting the next person. Do you want to use my camera? Let me download everything really fast. Like, so being nice, being collaborative, just getting to know people. You'll run in the same circles with a lot of people, especially in Nashville. I've run into like almost every concert I go to, I see the same guy there. Like, so again, if you're gonna don't get a reputation for being somebody who's awful in the pit, because also it will prevent you from getting other opportunities in the future. So if you have any questions about it though, I'd love to talk to you. You can email me at the box of, oh my God, that's not our podcast. I almost said the podcast that I've been listening to on repeat. And I was like, that is not our email.
Oh my, okay.
The Music Lens Podcast at gmail.com is our email. And you can ask me questions about my experiences in the photo pit.
Yeah, I think that's good for like, I mean, we are a podcast of independent artists, but I feel like we're also, as independent artists, we do wear multiple hats and stuff. So like, it's good to hear other aspects of the music industry, such as photography, for people who are doing multiple things like you are. So yeah. I think, is there anything else that you did during the hiatus that you want to share?
I don't know. I'll talk about it next time. We've been talking for 45 minutes.
Okay. I think we're going to wrap up though, but it's good to be back. If there's any ideas of episodes that you want to hear about, any like more information of a certain area of the industry or something like that, you know, literally anything with the industry that you want to hear, you can send those ideas, like Alex said, to the Music Lens Podcast at gmail.com. And you could follow us on socials at the Music Lens Podcast on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, all that fun stuff. If you want to keep up with Alex and her music, you can follow her at Alex Allegra Music. And
if you want to stay up to date with my photography, you can follow me at AA Takes Photos.
Yes. That as well. And then you can follow me at Katie Fee Music. And we will see you next time. Bye.